Okay, so we're going to do a pod review on this pepper over here, and I'm going to call this the Red Cloud Pepper, only because these seeds originally came from a package of seeds I ordered that were called White Cloud, and this pepper is coming out red, and it's been doing that since the first time I planted it, and this is the third time I planted it, and it still comes out red. So we'll pick one of these, and we'll try to describe the flavor. Now, the shapes can vary quite a bit on these. They can come out really small and flat like a pumpkin, or they can come out like this. So the shapes vary quite a bit, but I have had these peppers not stay flat like this. They actually, parts of the pepper, if I can do this with one hand, parts of the pepper will get elongated. So like some of these lobes will actually start to extend down and then curl in. It just creates a very strange and bizarre shape, very similar to what a white cloud pepper should look like, except this one is red. It never turned white. And so this year it's put out a few of these shapes. I'm sure if I put this out in my garden, I would get some really cool shapes off of this thing, which is what we're going to do next year. We're really going to develop this pepper a little bit more. It's not a hybrid for me. It's just what came out of the seeds that I ordered. And I did get the seed from a pretty well-known seed company, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not shaming them or anything, but I did not get the seeds that they offered at that time, and I don't believe they offer these seeds anymore, or for that particular white cloud variety. And it was probably because of this reason, because some of these peppers that were coming out of here, or all of the peppers, was something totally different. It was coming out this red pumpkin type pepper. Now you would probably say, oh, that's a Ratund, or that's a sheep nose pepper. No, it's not. This thing actually gets weird shapes to it. It's very strange. Here's a small one. These things can they can pop out small ones like this. Very odd shaped little pepper. And it can pop out shapes like this, or it even pops out shapes where some of the lobes will actually extend down and kind of curl in a little bit. It's really strange. So I had some strange phenos come off of this thing, and so I think I'm going to pursue this pepper from now on. I'm definitely going to start growing this one out a little bit more and really try to explore with it, because somewhere along the line when they packaged the seeds for it, when I bought them, this plant must have crossed over with something, and it really changed the shape of it. So, yeah, as you can see here's some really strange pepper, pumpkin type, flat pumpkin. Now this year it's kind of more flat, but if you grow this thing out in full sun, these peppers will get larger, and they will get longer than what you see here. This bottom part will actually extend down a little bit more, and they get like these lobes here. You see how this has lobes? Some of these will extend down separate. It's strange. I had some strange shapes come off of this. So I'm just simply going to refer to it as a red cloud rather than the white cloud, because it is not a white cloud. This is something totally different, or at least a red version of the white cloud, but I don't think that the white cloud makes flat pumpkin peppers like this. I don't really have any pepper that's this convoluted. Look at the ribbing on this thing. Now, if you ever grown pumpkins in real life, and you've grown the fairy tale pumpkins, you'll notice that those pumpkins are very ribbed and convoluted like this, very strange shapes on them. And if you've ever grown those, this kind of looks like a fairy tale pumpkin in a lot of ways. This one's a little bit more well-rounded and a little bit more, maybe that's how they get when they're in full sun. They'll get kind of more mature looking like that. But I do believe a large majority are going to have this real heavy ribbing on it, which is just strange to me. So why don't we turn you around, and we'll give this one a taste test and see how this one tastes. Alright guys, here we are. We are going to do the pod review today on this pepper right here, and I am calling it the Red Cloud because this came from a packet of seeds that was supposed to be white cloud seeds, and they were not white cloud seeds. What came out of it was this odd, strange thing. And so I've been growing this now for a couple of years just to see if maybe the white cloud will pheno back into its shape, or was it a cross, or maybe just the wrong seed? I don't know. What I do know is I got this thing, and it looks like a Ratund type pepper. But the problem is that if you let this thing grow, sometimes these lobes on here will extend down like feet. It gets some really strange shapes to it. So I have had this pepper do some strange things. Why is it doing that? I don't know. What kind of seed is it? I'm not 100% sure. I'm confident, though, that it's an annum. And it does look like a Ratund type pepper. So I can't really call it a Ratund, but we'll just call it Red Cloud for now. And you know, if you want to buy seed for it and try it yourself and see how it grows for you, give it a go. But without any further ado, let's give it a go. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is that this pepper does not have any heat on it. It is a sweet pepper, so that's a pleasure for me. Now, as far as the flavor goes, the flavor on this thing does have a slight Ratund type flavor. Ratund peppers generally have they kind of taste like the bell pepper side of pepper flavors. So they taste like the red bell pepper type flavor, but not exactly. Ratunds have a slight different flavor to it. And this has a type of Ratund flavor. Maybe the Bulgarian Ratund or something like that. It does have that Ratund type flavor. So it's very possible that this may be associated with a Ratund. I do not know. But it does have that flavor. It's slightly on the tangy side. Has a nice sweet red flavor to it, like bell pepper. But the aftertaste that comes in after it, that aftertaste is the aftertaste of a typical Ratund. Very typical for that pepper. So don't know what else to say about it other than it does have that flavor. It's very nice. It's very sweet-like. It does have a little tanginess to it that balances off. And then, of course, the Ratund flavor that kind of hangs around on your palate afterwards. But it's a very gorgeous pepper. I really like this thing. I am going to be growing this thing now for the next few years, just to see if I can develop the shape on it a little better. I may even experiment with this particular type of pepper and cross that over with some of the other cross peppers, just to see what kind of shapes and flavors I can get out of it. Or even if I can add some heat to this and make a hot version of this pepper. So we might be fooling around with this pepper in future years. But it's definitely a pepper worth going for. If you're looking, for example, I usually try to stock all the seeds on my website, but certain seeds like the Bulgarian Ratund, that seed is hard to keep in stock, and I haven't had time to regrow that. But this is a very good alternative to the Bulgarian Ratund because it's very similar to that pepper. I really like the Bulgarian Ratund. It's just hard to get seed for it, and I just haven't had time to grow it again. But this is definitely a good alternative to that, and you might want to consider giving this one a try if you can't get the Bulgarian Ratund. So anyway, that's really it. There's not much more to say about it. I can't really add any information into the description about it because you ain't going to find nothing on the Red Cloud. So you'll just have to roll with whatever I tell you about it. So that's it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.